Yes, please go on, Doctor. Dr. Peter?
Yes, hi.
Yes, can you please introduce the college?
Sure, no problem. So let me just pull back up the screen. Sorry, just 1 second. Sorry.
No worries.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. And we're really grateful for this opportunity where we can yet again put on our Doctor of Medicine program on its, how can I say, bit of a podium to see if we can actually draw in and build as we go by. So we're introducing this 4-year program, and we have a bunch of our students along with us and also members of our student team to answer various questions. So I'm Dr. Peter Corridon. I direct our Bridge program, and I'm also a faculty member within our college. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you. So, can you please let me know, like, if I'm a student who's interested into applying to this kind of program, how do I know that I'm suitable for this? What kind of prerequisites or what kind of majors that I need to have before joining?
Okay, great. That's a good question. So if we're looking at the idea of a KU student, so within our KU family, we generally have students coming from engineering and or even the College of Arts and Sciences. So what we've done in the beginning, since our program is coming up to about 2 years old now, we started off transitioning students from what we believe was the best program at that point in time, biomedical engineering. Nevertheless, within the past year and a half, we've extended that to make sure that students in all disciplines will be able to actually cover the prerequisites. It may be a little bit more challenging for some, let's say, who are in electrical engineering, because they will have to actually go a bit outside of their means and do biology. But they have pre-set, how can I say, opportunities to do this with free electives. And I do hold various sessions going through the list of things regarding, what outcomes and what are needed to actually get into a program. So we do have these opportunities for all our students, and the aim as we go by is to extend it, as I said, starting off from engineering. And even within the College of Arts now, we have a dedicated pre-medical program in the College of Arts that has been approved. We're hoping to get our first students in due course. That is called cell and molecular biology. In the meantime, the chemistry students have also been aligning their programs to ensure that they can actually enter this program. There's a dedicated medical physics program coming on board. So as you can see, we're opening up ourselves to make sure that every KU student has an opportunity to join our program. And even those outside of KU, again, they will follow the same pattern. But I hope this answers your question.
Absolutely. So, what kind of careers should I be expecting when I graduate from one of your majors?
Okay. So as of now, our primary degree is the Doctor of Medicine. In years to come, it is envisioned that we will have PhD programs and the possibility of combined MD PhD programs. So as we try to, how can I say, leverage the opportunities that are in areas that I come from. So I came from the University of Colorado, and the gamut of opportunities for students are abound. They can start off after graduating as a GP, then they can go and specialize. They can do anything related to any of the specializations that, again, there's so many to even count now, but some of the newer and more exciting ones, beyond the more traditional and lucrative, i.e. surgery, you have things related to molecular medicine, regenerative medicine, and you have even, how can I say, a wider spectrum of things happening now. You also want to look at the points of, multiple types of careers where people can go into education, academia, etc.
Thank you, Doctor. And is there any kind of internships that I can take while studying this program?
So in terms of that, it's not like the regular, how can I say, internship-based system. The medical schools program is pretty clear-cut. There is no real deviation at any point in time, unless, a student has to make up requirements. But in terms of an internship, what would come out is across the 4 years, you have the first 2 years that are dedicated to basic sciences. Then they transition over into clinical-based work. And in the clinical-based work, they'll be required to, act as junior physicians as they learn and train to become residents. So that's how we can say or translate what the traditional type internship means for us in the College of Medicine. Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. So do you have like partnerships with organizations related to this field to do my practicum, or even if I want to do an internship myself, training myself, do you have connections with organizations related?
So in terms of that, I'd probably like to try to qualify the question a bit. So again, all of our students move at the same pace. So they come in at one point in time in the year, and they all do the same classes in tandem. Now, when they transition from their classes, their basic sciences, they will go into the clinical systems. And the clinical systems or clinical, how can I say, experiences have been set up by our associate deans and also our dean to ensure that, they have clinical practice. So in terms of having someone, try to find something specifically on their own, I think that may be a little bit out of the scheme of what we are, working on. But nevertheless, these students will transition into clinics and practice here. Does that help and provide a little bit of clarity?
Yes, but I wanted to know names of organizations or I don't know, hospitals,
Okay,
clinics,
sure.
major partnerships that we have.
So Sheikh Shahput Medical City, that would be one name. We also have things related to the Mayo Clinic, which is coming on board now. So again, these are works in progress because, as you can imagine, we've only been around for 2 years. So it's sort of difficult if you would like me to rattle off, an entire long list. But I hope this provides at least some basis for you.
Absolutely. And we have here a student with us who's currently studying. May I ask, why did you choose this major? And how was your process from the beginning until now?
So let me introduce myself first. My name is Ahmed Nuruddin. I'm part of the inaugural class, the first class. I was joined here by Raven and Dana. So my path was I did the undergraduate in pharmacy in Ajman University, and then I did the MCAT myself. I did my MCAT myself outside. Then I applied to Khalifa University. Then I joined directly through the MD program. My other friends here, like Raven and Dana, Dana is actually graduated from Khalifa University, and she actually went through the process of being through Khalifa University. So she could be a very good guide as to help our current students here on the whole process. So, but I chose medicine. I chose medicine because from the switch to pharmacy to medicine, because I thought that my role as someone in the healthcare is to be the one who's taking charge, and I want to keep on learning science and a lifelong learning journey, and to take care of people and have a big responsibility in the community and a sense of duty. In essence, this is why I chose to become a doctor.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Dana, if you hear us, can you please tell us a little bit about your journey? Because as Ahmed said, your story will be almost similar to many of KU students who wants to apply.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dana. So I have studied biomedical engineering for my undergraduate studies, and I graduated in 2019, and directly I applied to the medical school. After I finished studying biomedical engineering and I graduated, I prepared for the MCAT with the help of Khalifa University as well. So it was a period of 6 weeks approximately that we were really intensely studying to prepare for the MCAT. The university helped us to travel to Paris to do the MCAT exam, to prepare before actually doing the exam. And how did I do that in the first place? I talked to Dr. Habiba, who is the student affairs dean in the medical college. So she introduced to me the ways that I can, how can I proceed in studying medical studies. So yeah, that was after I graduated. When I did the MCAT, I applied through like online. I applied with all the requirements that they have. Like for example, you will find everything that you will need to apply for or to give the university, like the different documents online. So I did that, and when I had I had to wait for the MCAT result to be out, so that I know if I will be accepted or I have to do a second trial. So that was basically it. But if you have specific questions about anything throughout the journey, of course, I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dana. So speaking about getting accepted or not, Dr. Peter, so what's the criteria you're looking for? Like if you get, I'm sure you get so many applications. Are they all get accepted? Do you have conditions? What's the percentage of the acceptance that you have for this program?
So again, I can say that, our program is very, very competitive thus far. And I expect the competition to rise because, as you would imagine, there are only so many medical places for so many students that are interested. And this relates to, our student population here and abroad. Now, in terms of what we would like to see, we would love to see someone with a real interest in medicine, with a passion for medicine. And I always look for someone as a junior colleague. So again, Dana, can I say, Ahmed, all of the young people here, that I've spent time with, I see these young people as people who are interested in not just becoming a doctor, but also have the passion and also care. That's a major point too. They really care about people. So those are the things that really strike out to us. And again, I'm not saying that individuals who have not displayed these characteristics are void of any sort of opportunities, but you ask me, what I look forward to. These are the things I look forward to. Again, we go beyond that. Good level of academics and a high potential to perform in a really tough, high-paced environment. Does that help?
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask again now, assume that I got accepted. Luckily or fortunately, I got accepted with this program. I joined. What else beside academics I should focus on? Like what kind of skills that will help me later when I graduate? Soft skills or hard skills? And how can I do them? Activities, events? What should I do now to save me time before graduation? Like for example, myself,
yeah.
I graduated, I didn't do internship. I just joined the workforce as soon as I graduated, and there were so many things that was introduced to me that I should have actually completed it or finished it when I was a student. So much time wasted. So what do you think you recommend for this field students to focus on beside their academics?
Besides academics, well, these are great questions, great points you have, and I'll share a few things. So besides your academics, it's always good to get an idea as to what you really want to do and gain some clinical experiences. So it would be great, let's say if you have ambitions to become a surgeon, at least speak to a surgeon. Know the life, know that you have to start surgeries at 4 a.m. in the morning. These things are not clear with a lot of people. And then they go in and they're like, oh my gosh, 4 a.m.? That means you have to be up at 2. And I've said these things because I have been in that position and I was that person like, oh my gosh, you need me to be there at 4? So having, hindsight, this would have helped. Also, what is necessary for students, time management, so they can actually just get better at planning and preparing. Also doing things that would help them focus, allow them to read quicker, diligence, and I think something that they need and they will figure out, and especially, the young people who will be embarking on their clinical experiences soon, is that you have to be ready for a lot of things that you will not expect. Your life is not going to be linear. You're going to be in a position where your decisions make change and make differences and can hurt or help people. So it's a heavy burden, and learn how to deal with those things and be open to find new ways to deal with it. Those are the things that I think I can present at this point. Does that help, sir?
Yes, definitely. So Dana, Raveen, and Ahmed, may I ask, what are your plans once you are done with your studies here? What are you aiming for in the future?
So should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm planning after I finish my studies here in Khalifa University to do residency in pediatrics. This is my dream. So, but I'm not sure I'll really discover the different specialties during the third year, which will start actually at the end of this, by the end of this month. So we'll explore the different specialties and I'll see what I'm really interested in, but mainly to do pediatrics, yeah, for 3 to 4 years.
Great. What about Ahmed?
My plan is to sit the U.S. The medical licensing exam at the end of third year, like all of us will, and then prepare for my application to hopefully, inshallah, to do a residency, my training abroad in either the United States or Canada. Right now, I have an open mind on which specialty I want to do, but as of right now, I want to do ophthalmology. Being an eye doctor, this is what I want to do. Inshallah. But then I'm still an open mind to change once we, like Dana said, go into third year and we go into the different specialties and see in the hospital. Maybe my mind will change, but hopefully, inshallah, is to do a degree, what's it called, my residency, my training abroad in the United States or Canada.
Inshallah. What about Raveen? Raveen, are you?
Yeah, so my plan is very similar to Ahmed's plan of sitting the USLME like all of our classmates, and then applying for residency overseas just to get some more experience, get kind of exposed to a wide variety of like fast-paced hospital life, and then hopefully come practice back here once I'm done my residency overseas. So open to US, open to Canada, whoever is willing to accept me. And I'm just exploring my options as well. We're lucky enough to be about to embark into our clinical clerkships, as they've mentioned. So we will get exposed to a lot of different hospital situations. And really, I think that will really ingrain what specialty we want to do when we graduate. Right now, it's all theoretical because we haven't seen it in practice as much. So for me, I'm waiting to see and make sure, reaffirm which specialty I would like to pursue.
Perfect. Dr. Peter, what's the best advice you can give those 3 students regarding the specialty or choosing specialty? I know this is a critical decision.
Yeah. Honestly, it's okay. So I can stand here a little bit, on my podium of pride because I've seen the transition in these young people. I knew what they looked like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and I see the difference now. And they had all these different views at the beginning, and now I see that they are, how can I say, they're far more level, they're far more clear, they know what they want to do, and they know how they will choose it. So all I can say is, look, just keep developing the way you're developing, and keep making us proud. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. Do we have students who are thinking about joining the program here? Like if students, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to type it down in the chat. We have Maitha, Saeed, Shahad, Zayed. Do you guys have questions for Dr. Peter? Okay, so Abdullah, he's asking about, can you please talk about the bridge program?
Sure, absolutely. So in terms of our bridge program, that was designed to be a segue from the undergraduate into the MD program. And it still is. It's taking on a life and it's expanding as we go by. We're interested in now working with students in the senior, junior and sophomore levels to try to get them to the point of sitting their exams for the MCAT and getting that training and getting not only that, but also setting up and making sure they have all the right courses, their GPA is up to snuff, and they have a right frame of mind. They've actually spent a bit of time with a physician. They know what they really want to do. They have an idea as to what these next 4 years that they're hoping to be a part of means. And those are some of the things that I can explain. Our program, runs in different portions. We have 3 as of now, 3 basically in terms of each of the academic semesters across an academic year. But these are strictly for people who have finished their programs in terms of their undergrad. Once they've graduated, they can enter officially like that. But again, as I said, we're trying to work and prepare our students better. So if there are senior students, junior students, and or even sophomore students ready to learn about these things, I set meetings. I have at least 5 meetings with students each week to talk about this and try to bring them into the fold to see if we can get them into medical school, and get them on that path sooner rather than later. I hope, does that help, young man? Okay, I got a yes, so great. You're welcome.
Great. Any other questions, students? If you have any question, you can ask it here, or if you want to open the mic and talk, you're more than welcome. When should I take the MCAT exam? That's Shahid asking.
Well, it depends. So, it would be great to get an idea as to someone's background. But the way in which I'm trying to set this up is that, but again, please recognize COVID-19 has been a very exciting event for me and has been shifting a lot of our plans. But the ideal and optimal point is to try to get the MCAT done by the end of the junior year. So within that summer period that you have a little bit of a break before you go into your final academic year. So that'll be the best for that. And the other question that I saw was, is there a guarantee for acceptance? So I always say, there is nothing in terms of guarantees. So the bridge program is something that will guarantee you in the least an interview. Beyond that, you just have to show your work.
I have a question that always we think about whenever we choose a major or specialty, or what's the industry demand or the market demand for the field, the demand for this kind of fields in the UAE or internationally, of course.
Sure. Let's take it in terms of the globe, and I kind of bring things down. There's a worldwide shortage of clinical practitioners. This has been exacerbated by the current global pandemic. You can see this from everywhere across the globe. Now, specifically within the UAE, that provides chaos and also provides great opportunity. So the reason why this institution started this medical program was to address that exact need. Not just to address the need that, we need more doctors and we need more doctors who are trained here and actually will perform here, but we also need people who are interested in building our different sectors. So the UAE has interest in not just staying with its, mainstay at the point in time being, the oil industry and the oil sector, but Khalifa University's charge was to expand and go beyond that. And the medical field is one such area. And what we know is, and what we would like to see discoveries happen right here. So again, you have so many spokes, so many points, and all those things provide, chaos, uncertainty, but from my perspective, massive amounts of opportunity. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Can I ask one last question, unless students have other questions? What's your main advice? I wish I can hear from Mr. Joy from his career development perspective. What's your main advice if I'm gonna join or no for this program? One final advice.
Hi everyone. My advice to you is very similar to the rest of the advice that was given. Is that, if this is your passion, if you are passionate, if you've always thought about becoming a medical doctor, but for whatever reason you couldn't either apply, or for whatever reason that you couldn't make it to medical school, dig deep down and try to find out if this is your thing. Talk to our medical students. They are going through this experience themselves, and they will tell you it is tough. And if you're just doing it for, the title or for the name being a doctor, then that may not be for you, because it is tough. It is difficult. It requires you will not have a life for a very long time. So that's something that you have to consider and think about deeply. But as you will ask our medical students, and as you will ask, in the future, or any medical doctor, they will tell you that it's such a gratifying profession that they enjoy it, they love it, and most of them will tell you that there's nothing else that they would rather do. So make sure that this is the right decision, and know in advance that it is tough to get into medicine.
This is great. Thank you very much, Mr. Joy. Abdullah is also asking, what if I have required MCAT score but didn't meet the prerequisite courses? Do I have to enter the bridge program? And also, does bridge program students considered as KU students?
Okay. Yes. So Abdullah, I'll start off with the fact that bridge students are definitely KU students. The bridge program is part of our university. If you've taken the MCAT exam on your own, good on you. And if you have the admissible score, even far better. Now, in terms of the other requirements, and the reason why I helped on the word other is that there are a bunch of requirements that are non-negotiable. So we need these things. So if you need to figure out what classes you're still missing or what you would like to do, I am happy to meet with you and we can discuss this, because I want to make sure that that would not be a hindrance into your ability to get into our program. Make sense?
Yes, so this is good, because I wanted to ask who should I get in touch with if I want to ask more questions, if I want to apply for the program.
So I'll be happy, as a point person, if you'd like to reach out to us. We have an entire team, some of the more nitty-gritty things in terms of which courses, MCAT scores, different points. I think I'll be able to help you with that fully. What I would recommend each student to do is to look on our website and see the base requirements, so they at least have a starting point to know where they should be going and what they need to do. And we're happy to take the discussions further.
Perfect. This was really, really informative, and thank you very much all for attending. Hopefully our students will benefit from it. For students, please fill up the attendance form that I pasted here on the chat. And if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with the college or even myself, and I will let you know where to go. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.